You're watching another Supercharged Masterclass with Jordan Samuel Fleming. Your opportunity to learn the ins and outs of Podio design and development from one of the top Podio partners in the world.
Hey everybody, it's Jordan Fleming here with another Supercharged Masterclass. Now, today I'm going to share with you something that I think is an absolute essential in every single app you build. There are two fields you should put into every single app in Podio, and I'm going to show you why. Let's take a look and dive into Podio. Okay, here we are in Podio, and I'm in the process of building a very simple app here. Judging by what I started, I guess it's going to be a CRM contact app. Really, it doesn't matter, because what I want to show you in today's video are two fields that you absolutely must have in every single app, and I'll explain why. Those fields are as follows. I usually put them right at the bottom of every app. I make them as single text fields. I'm going to drop two of them down now, and I make them as single line and always hidden. Single line, always hidden. We don't need to see these, we just need them to be there. And the first one we're going to name as what the app is, so test app, and then we're just going to say item ID. So app name, item ID will be the first one you need, and then test app item URL is the second one. Test app item ID, test app item URL. Your app name, item ID, app name, item URL. You're going to add those to every single app you do and name them appropriately. Now, why is the question? Well, why is very simple. Because it's going to give you a massive help in both searching for items in more advanced GlobiFlow / Citrix PWA searching. And it's going to give you, the way we do it is going to give you a URL that you can use in calculation fields, in markdown tables, that will always point to this item, regardless if you change things like the app name or the workspace name. So how are we going to do that? We're going to hop over to GlobiFlow, and we are going to do a quick refresh because we have a brand new app we built. Hey, are you using Podio to manage your real estate investment business? Wait! Click the link to find out why thousands of real estate investment professionals are using Podio plus smartphone to make more calls, send more text, and close more deals. Click the link. And there's my brand new app I just built called Test App, right? And we're going to do a flow. Now, I add this same flow to these same fields and the same flow to every app I've ever built for the last 5 years or something. And what I usually do is I do a new flow on item create. And the way I name GlobiFlow, now this is up for debate. Lots of people do it different ways. I'm going to do a video about why I do it my way. I'm going to say on create, because I always start with what type of flow is this? How's this flow being triggered? And I'm going to say set initial fields. Now that means, for me, again, this is my way of doing it. This is the flow I'm going to use to do some initial things. Like sometimes people put a create date as an actual field instead of a calculation field. And they kind of, when an item gets created here, I'm going to have these bits of information placed in immediately. That's what I do in these set initial fields flows. And the ones that I'm going to care about today are those two fields we put in. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say update item. I'm going to make it a hook. And I'm going to make it silent in this case because I don't really need everybody to hear it. And I'm going to go select my two fields that I'm going to update. Right? So I've got test app, item ID, and test app URL. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the right value into the item ID. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to the token, and I'm going to find on this app, right, which are these ones here, the ones with test in front of them, there should be one field called Podio item ID. There it is. And I'm going to drop it in. You see, that's the token being dropped in. It's not to be confused with the app item ID or the app item ID formatted or any of those other external IDs, developer, all these other ones. No, you want the Podio item ID from that app, which is this token here in this case. And then I'm going to do the URL. Now there's a specific format we're going to use for this URL to make it a universal. Essentially, all we want this URL to do is to be able to link to this exact item quickly. And really, Podio doesn't need all the extraneous bits. It just needs the item ID, because the item ID is a singular. It is a universal, right? So that is a unique identifier, that item ID. So how we're going to do this is we're going to go https:// just like you'd normally do a website, podio.com/ now x/y/item/. That's how it starts. Now the X and Y are completely up to you. I have been known on my fouler days, when I'm in a foul mood or I'm pissed off with a client or something, I've been known to put something, well, let's say, okay, hands up, who's using Podio for real estate and they don't want more leads? Nobody. You want more leads closed? Well, check out Smartphone for Podio, the only phone system fully built for Citrix Podio, with an fully integrated power dialer and our amazing mobile apps. It means wherever you are, you can make more calls, log to Podio, send more texts, log to Podio, and close more deals, all logged to your Podio CRM. Click the link. Check it out. Less polite than X and Y. It can be anything. It could be my/my/cat/item, right? It doesn't matter. X/Y/item, my/cat/item, something very rude /something very rude/item. It doesn't really matter. But do know that people are going to see that URL who use your apps. So I would be careful, unless you don't care. And then after this last slash, I'm going to copy this item ID, or I'm going to drop in the token again, and I'm going to put it like this. So the full URL value is https://podio.com/my/cat or x/y/item/ and then the Podio item ID token. That's all I need, and I'm going to save it. Again, this is for these two very important fields. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create an item here, Jordan Fleming, and I'm going to save it. And you see here, test app item ID was put in, a very long number, 207649, blah, blah, blah. And then we've also got this URL, which is podio.com/my/cat/item/ and that exact same number. And those fields are now embedded and hidden into every item you create. Those fields will be there, which means you will have a very simple field to use as a unique identifier for any search. So if you're going to go ahead and build a flow that says, search this app for this item containing this field, well, this gives you an absolute unique identifier to make searching very, very simple. And searching across, if you're using ProcFu, different organizations, that unique item ID is a critical thing for searching. And it gives you a URL that you can use in referenced calculation fields to give people a way of clicking, right? I'll do other masterclasses where I dive into how to create markdown tables, and you can make them clickable so that people can have a table of data in Podio in a calculation field, and then they can click through to that item. Well, that's accomplished by having a URL that they can reference, and this is the best way of doing it. Now, why do we use the my/cat/item instead of the, well, this is actually assignforce.com, I have assignforce.com/supercharged demo workspace/apps/test app item/items. That's the actual URL, and you can actually embed that in GlobiFlow. There is actually a way of doing that. You could actually drop a token. I believe that there is a URL link to item right there. Right under Podio item ID, there's a URL link to item. You can use that, but here's the problem. What happens if I change the workflow, the workspace name, or the app? Are you using Podio with CallRail? There's a better way. Click the link, find out why hundreds of businesses have moved over to using Smartphone, the only phone system built for Podio. Make more calls, send more texts, and close more deals. Click the link. Right, what happens if I do that? That happens all the time. People change workspace names, they alter them slightly. That, if you've embedded, hard-coded that specific link into your app item, that link will break. But by doing this dynamic created one, which is the /x/y/item/Podio unique item ID, Podio knows that this is the item you're talking about. So again, these two fields are, in my opinion, non-negotiable. Every app you have, build it in, build the flow in on create to create the information you need. And you will then have a field where you can universally search for this item very simply, and a field you can use for a URL link to this item that will always remain true. And having those two on every app you build is going to save you an enormous time. And if you do it right at the start, it means you don't have to retrofit it, which you can. But if you've got 50,000 items in an app and you retrofit these, you're going to have to parse out that updating over hours, because if you try and update 50,000 right away, it's probably going to throttle you. So you're going to have a way of doing this that kind of spreads it out. And that's just a pain. Build them in when you're building the apps. It's much better. Absolutely, those two fields are essential to every Podio app you build. Right? Agree? Disagree? Hit me up on YouTube in the comments of this video. If you agree with me, if you disagree with me, or if there's something you want me to talk about, comment away. And while you're on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe bell to be notified anytime I upload new videos. Do pop over to the Supercharged podcast pages and subscribe to it if you haven't already. And please do give us a like, give us a review, give us a share on your social media. It really helps spread the gospel of Podio. And of course, if you're using Podio, use the link across the website and down in this video to start your free trial of smartphone if you haven't already. If you're using Podio, then smartphone is the best decision you'll make. The ability to have your CRM and your data connected completely to your phone system, your text messages, your voicemail recordings, and your power dialing is a complete game changer. Ha ha ha. But head over there and check it out. It's another great way of supporting this channel. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for watching this Supercharged Masterclass with Jordan Samuel Fleming, CEO of Smartphone. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel to be notified of new podcast episodes, Podio Masterclasses, and in-depth Podio extension reviews.